What's good, YouTube? This video is going to be about why you may have low self-esteem and the miseducation of some women. People forget that I do this. They forget that I talk to and receive feedback from thousands of women a year. Not just through YouTube, but through my personal business as well. If I could sum up the issue I encounter the most, I would say it's rejection and abused battered self-esteem. Many of the most beautiful women I've ever met had the lowest self-esteem. And throughout the years of my adulthood, I've watched woman after woman lose confidence or start thinking she's not good enough simply because the men she chose didn't choose her or choose to be good to her. Your self-esteem is predicated on your experiences. If you don't protect your self-esteem by intentionally managing your experiences, inner peace can be a hard thing to come by. Some women are actively mismanaging their experiences by overvaluing elusive men, while underestimating or disregarding more available ones. Now, if you love a challenge, but all you've experienced is rejection, why would your self-esteem be high? How could it be high? For far too many women, the prerequisite for liking a man is the potential of him getting away. When the potential for rejection isn't present, many women just grow bored. They just chase emotionally unavailable men and try to change their minds about love and relationships. And when that doesn't work, they internalize the rejection. However, for many, it's all they respond to. Uncertainty is their drug of choice. How can anyone have high self-esteem if they, through their decisions and subsequent experiences, only gather feedback that breeds in them inadequacy? Listen, if you look through your history and realize that the only guys you like or fall for are the ones who presented a significant challenge, or the ones who were mysterious and hard to read, or the ones who made dating feel more like a roller coaster ride than falling in love, maybe you haven't been chasing love at all. Maybe you have just been chasing excitement. Some women are emotional thrill seekers, while others approach love with a sense of masochism. With that said, if every guy who offers you his heart genuinely ends up in your friend zone, and every guy who offers a challenge and his ass to kiss ends up in your walls, you might be chasing excitement. If you consistently find yourself trying to bridge the emotional gap between you and the guys you date, you're probably chasing excitement. If no matter who you date, you find yourself trying to get more out of them, or you always wonder why they're so hot and cold, you're probably chasing excitement. If you've ever done anything just because you wanted him to like you because he hadn't been acting like it, again, you're probably chasing excitement. And you caught it. Congratulations. But you're not chasing love. So many women say, I've dated all types of guys. I don't have a type. Why haven't I found someone? Because your type is rejection. Your type is excitement. Your type is uncertainty. You take interest in men who present those things more than anything else worth having. What's sad is, often and in general, there's nothing really special about the emotionally unavailable men that so many women chase. More often than not, they're not special or unique in any way that makes the pain worth it. And don't be mistaken, even if you're in an official relationship, but you're not being considered and you're getting mistreated and shitted on, your man may still be emotionally unavailable to you. You trying to change him is no different than the women falling in love with these single assholes, trying to change their minds about relationships. You still internalize rejection when he shows you repeatedly that he doesn't care about how you feel and what you think. And on top of many women's tendency to chase the wrong guys, there are a lot of guys out here who understand seduction. Hundreds of years ago, some maniacal genius discovered that to impress the greatest amount of women, all one had to do was appear to be masculine and pretend to be unimpressed by women. The more beautiful a woman is, the more some men will refuse to validate her or even acknowledge any of her qualities. There are many men who know how to use a woman's self-doubt and need for excitement against her. They know that to catch her ideal guy, she'll blur her own moral lines and overcompensate. They also know that greater value is assumed of any man willing to resist her emotionally. And that's because in order for some women to desire a man, he must seem slightly out of reach. With that said, many men may genuinely be uninterested, while others may pretend to be. So, for the women who prefer to hunt their men instead of lure them, this trap never quite loses its effect. The most beautiful women are often conditioned into thinking they are the least beautiful. Guys have intentionally brought them down to level the playing field. They understand that to humble a woman is to intrigue her, to not compliment them, to not return their phone calls, to not promptly answer text messages, or to give her contradictory experiences drives this particular type of woman a little crazy. People love mystery, but most of us wouldn't watch 10 magicians in a row do the same damn trick. But far too many women have let 10 different men play with them the same way. But instead of an ace of spades or a nine of clubs, the trick ends with your panties off and them telling you they're not ready for a relationship. Abracadabra. So who's really at fault, him or her? She's chasing excitement, he's chasing ass. The trick doesn't change. It always leads to the same pump and dump or friendly with benefits situation. And I say friendly because unlike real friends, if she cut the ass off, he would no longer be fake friends with her. The end result is the same. A woman who's come to love the chase fails to catch her prey again. And in the process ends up measuring that rejection against her own value as a woman. This type of result multiplied over time with different men builds a very brittle relationship with self-esteem. Chasing men leads to a miseducation of the female mind. Seeking love in the wrong places will ultimately teach many women that their value is assigned to them by a man and not intrinsic to them and who they are. And that's because when the man you want is pleased and entertained, he validates you. But with that comes power to take that validation back. Never give anyone the power to invalidate you. You are no less beautiful because he didn't say it. You are no less smart because he didn't acknowledge it. You are no less interesting because he abandons you after sex. You are no less worthy because he passed on you. He is no more interesting a person because he resists you. He is no more worthy because he doesn't care about what you think. He is no greater because other misguided women are chasing him as well. Too many women have taught themselves that they aren't good enough, chasing men who weren't good enough. If rejection and mistreatment has you feeling unworthy, undesirable, and unattractive, it's likely that you haven't placed a high enough value on self-preservation in your pursuit of love. It's also likely that you've allowed people through their words, deeds, and treatment tell you who you are. And that's silly because that qualifies any idiot to assign your value to you. And unfortunately, too many misguided women are exclusively chasing idiots, which makes all of this kind of hard to avoid for them. Don't miseducate yourself and kill your own worth and your own self-esteem with toxic dating and relationship patterns. But also don't allow yourself to be torn down by men who seek to lower you in order to put you psychologically beneath them and on your backs. The excitement of chasing emotionally unavailable men may fade, but the self-doubt sticks around. Besides that, on the rare occasion that the women actually capture these men, they ultimately end up regretting it when they realize how cold and how callous their new lover is, or how uncaring their dream guy can be once he gets bored with them. Don't be that woman. The men you entertain should always increase your intellect, your sense of pride, and your knowledge of self. Decide who you are and choose to believe that, whether you're single, dating, married, or anything in between. I think I've said enough for now. Follow me on IG, share my videos. I'll get with y'all later.